Yeah, I was just thinking sort then. So anyway, I got my GAG um, boot manager bootloader manager installed. I don't know what's up with me. I've had a really crazy week. What do you do when somebody asks you if you're going to die? I mean, the first question, when you're going to die. Um, oh my God. I went to see this um, to do with my. Uh, I can laugh about it now because it's just so crazy, but it was an official, let's just say it was an official person of the highest ranking that basically um, determines what disabilities you are allowed to get and baby, blah, 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 and all that stuff, right? And I had some support people with me, and the person on the other end of the phone, the first question they asked was that question, right? I dropped the phone. I just dropped the phone because I was in shock. I wouldn't speak to them after that. I couldn't speak to that person. I mean, that is the most inhuman, despicable thing you could say to anybody. It's almost like, hurry up, hurry up, you know. So anyway, I was really upset about it. It's been bothering me all week. But I wanted your comments about that. What would you say? What would you do if you were speaking to someone official that works for the government and they asked you that question? What should you do? Should you sue them? I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to record. I'm going to have my phone going next time. It's going to be recording because, yeah. Anyway, I got my GAG bootloader finally put on the other hard drive. Figured out what I was doing wrong. I was trying to install it on. I was trying to install it on the SSD drive, and because the SSD drive was in the bottom of the chain of drive letters, it couldn't map to the other boot partitions, and by actually install it on the other hard drive with the two other boot drives below it, I was able to navigate to the other operating systems, and yeah, my blepharitis is still giving me, it's driving me crazy. It's not right yet. Um, it's dry eye problem, you know. So I keep getting blurry eyes, and if you don't lubricate it, occasionally it just gets worse. And wearing my glasses because the cold rims, it irritates me like crazy, and the cold weather doesn't help. So anyway, so what is the setup with right now? So I don't know if I can show you on my phone. I'll try and I can't switch cameras when I'm filming. So if I go across here and try to point, oops, uh, I've got my camera stand on my quilt. Hang on, I'm hooked up. Right, so, um, ooh, I'm getting too old for this. Really am. So, all right. Oh, so I've got my 3 hard drives inside, and the bottom one with this LED is, that's where my Zorin Ubuntu operating system is on this one. The top one is another SSD where currently I have a backup of, it's called time time machine, I think. It's where you back up your Linux to a partition, and it's backed up on that one. So if something happens to my Linux, I can use this software called Time Machine. I think it's Time Machine. It reverts it back to a stable state. However, what I can do I've got Windows 7 on this one. What I can do is when I'm not using the backup drive, I can pop it out. I can't do it because I'm booted in it right now. But you can pop that out. I could stick my Windows 7 SSD in the top one, go into my GAG bootloader, map it to that disk, to this disk. Well, obviously it's not going to be bootable if that disk isn't in the drive, but when it is in the drive, my GAG bootloader should enable me to boot from Windows 7 as well. Alright, are you with me? I don't know if you can see one. Right, so that's the plan anyway. So at the moment I can boot up into Windows XP 32-bit and Windows XP 64-bit or Linux Zorin without going into my BIOS anymore, right? Which saves me a lot of messing about, because instead of having to press my Del key to get into my BIOS, which is what you have to do, or some operating systems you have to press F2 during the boot time to get into the BIOS, and you've got to be careful what you mess up, because what you mess with, because you can mess it up. So yeah, so what I usually do with my black I've got my colloidal silver, which I made myself, and that helps a bit, lubes up my eyes. It doesn't have, it's refreshing actually, but it stings a little bit because of the, you tend to get a bit of sweat in your eye when you do that. But it's not too bad, it helps them water a bit more. But I like my eye drops best because, well, they're too oily, too freaking oily. I mean, I put them in, it's great, but it's alright for like, what, an hour, maybe 2, but it starts to slowly dry out and it turns into like a waxy stuff, and then you get like, it's like sleep in your eye, and it gets, and that's when I use this stuff, you know, my colloidal silver. It just lubricates and helps to make things move around a bit, because I don't know, getting old is not fun. I can barely move as well, and it's been cold, freaking cold, 7 degrees Celsius outside right now. Hey, but I was going to show you the weather conditions, because guess what? Oh damn it! I've turned my Wi-Fi off again. I'm just waiting for that to load. Hang on a minute. Oh, there it is. Guess what? It says it's good to fly. It says gusts 4 miles per hour. Wind. Look at that! I can't believe it. Wind 1 mile per hour. Oh God, I would really like to fly my drone today, but I've got some phone calls to make. I need to get my head straight. I couldn't believe it when I looked at that. I thought, what? 1 mile per hour wind? Mind you, there'll be other days, because we're getting closer to clocks go back, I think, next week, is it? And in the UK anyway. But I'd like to fly my drone again, I really would, but I'm just not. You see, it's not just a quest of going and getting it out of the box, right, and plugging it in. I've got to charge the damn thing. And it takes, what, 6 hours to charge it up. By the time I've charged it up, the weather's it's gonna rain today, basically. It takes some, I can't charge it really fast. It takes like, well, 4, maybe 5 hours to charge up. And it's only got 30% battery power in it. And then I've got to charge the remote up as well. So that's what I mean. Altogether, 6 hours. Well, you got to plan ahead. You got to look ahead to see when the weather's going to be great. Well, I didn't know the weather was going to be great today, and yeah, I'm not flying it on a flat battery. You can't. It's a point of waste of time. By the time you get it out and take off, you get automatic return and all that stuff. And yeah, my Sea Fly Face Mini, I like flying that one. It's really stable. My GT95 is okay in this sort of weather. Actually, I could fly that because that's charged up. I need to run the batteries now. I might do. I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling again. Oh, see you later. Bye for now and take care.